Hey everybody, I'm John Finn, and the Masterverse collection keeps growing, this time with Hordak from the Princes of Power line. Let's get him open. Well, first let's take a look at the packaging, let's get him open, let's look at the accessories, let's look at the figure. Let's see what we think. First things first is this amazing artwork on the back of the package. Now, everything since the Masterverse line, or not the Masterverse line, the Revelation line kind of ended, and we got into more of the Princess of Power, of the new Eternia lines. The artwork on the back has really kind of turned it up a notch, and I really appreciate that. Like here, we've got both Montana and Leech with Hordak looking all badass, shooting his electrical magical powers out of his fingertips on his techno throne here. And of course, you got the cross-sell at the bottom, which includes the Princess of Power herself, She-Ra, He-Man from the CG series, Zodak, Skeletor from the CG series, and Catra. Now, I do think, just as an aside, I think that the He-Man and Skeletor from the CG series are huge missed opportunities for the Masterverse line because they're just in the same scale as the regular CG figures are. So it's not really, I don't know, I feel like Masterverse is to bring all of these properties together in the same scale, same basic buck and layout, where the newer versions of these CG ones just kind of keep the same basic format of the basic figures, but they just add articulation, which you might like that. It's just not for me. But I'm going to get this guy open. We're going to take a look at the figure and all of his accessories next and see if he's something that'll be worth your money. All right, so we've got Mr. Hordak here outside of his packaging, and let's take a look at first of all the accessories we got. Then we'll take a closer look at the figure. There are a couple little nitpicks I have with the figure. The way these are packed in the package, they are all secured with plastic ties except for the hand sculpts and the shield and this thing here, the little blaster part here, which includes Hordak's cape. It is tied with a plastic tie to the inner shell, so keep that in mind as you get this open. Don't just rip him out of the packaging because you could damage the cape itself, because these capes are kind of delicate. And I do have a problem with that kind of packaging, but that's okay. First thing we're going to start out with is the Horde shield here. Looks cool. It's got some great detail, especially up above the Horde head here. It does look a little bit more like the ones that we're going to see in Masters of the Universe Revolution, so that'll be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Some pretty okay detail here on the shield, and on the back it's got the same standard shield grip that all of the shields have had so far for the most part. Battle damage He-Man is an exception. I think there's one other exception too, but it's a basic shield. And it actually is much more of a shield than the ones that came with the Origins and the Vintage figure. It actually fits on the hand like a shield, although it would go on this left side here instead of like a weird bat friend that just kind of perches there. The crossbow looks much cooler too. It's got this kind of energy looking string section and bolt there, which makes it look really cool and dangerous. The sculpt on the head is a bit more detailed as well. You can see the eyes are colored in. You can actually make out like the individual teeth and nostrils and stuff like that. So it looks really cool, pretty detailed. And of course it clips to his arm like the Vintage version. The other accessories we come with are a little blaster bolt that comes out of his equipped arm to make it look like he is shooting. And then you also get some extra hand sculpts. You get a gripping hand for his left hand, which is equipped currently with a fist. You get the kind of grippy pointy hand that comes with all the Skeletor figures for the right hand, and that actually would go on his extra arm sculpt, which currently is equipped with a fist, which can replace the cannon sculpt, because he was kind of a shapeshifter in the original series. He also comes with this claw, this robotic claw, because he is a bit more technological than the other enemies in Masters of the Universe, so he can shapeshift into machines, he can use magic, but he usually uses technology. That's kind of his thing. So yeah, those are the accessories this guy comes with, and he is a deluxe version, which is why he gets that extra sculpted arm, and he gets the extra accessories. They're good accessories. All the accessories are good quality. I feel like, though, for the price that you're paying for this guy, could have come with one or two more. Maybe like a Horde sword or something like that would have been cool. But as we get into the figure himself, he's got some great detail, and he's kind of a mix of the Netflix She-Ra with this head sculpt, and the more Funimation style She-Ra and He-Man Hordak with the rest of the body. So I like that kind of balance that they have going on. He's got a cool belt with a nice little bat design on there, and he has the same basic articulation as the rest of the Masterverse figures. His head will turn inside the hood here, as you can see. It's a little bit hard to get going just because it can get in the way of your fingers, but it does turn. The hood actually will come off. If you detach the head, you can pull the hood off, and you can see, if we can get it up high enough, you can see in there that the cape is actually on these little pegs. So you could rip that really easily just ripping him out of the package wrong. So keep that in mind as you open this guy up, that this can be the case. So yeah, you can still customize him with the rest of the figure, since you can remove the head, put on different head sculpts and have fun with that, or even just take the hood and cape off and have a Hordak casual look if you wanted to. The rest of articulation, like I said, is the same. He's got the shoulders here. Shoulders are pretty good. This one sticks about right there, which isn't too bad. It's not as bad as Skelegod was. And you can see it's not the armor that's keeping it down, because it won't go up any higher here as well. That's a pretty small thing because you're going to be posing him mostly, but just keep that in mind. The armor looks wicked as anything, though. It's got these ribs here that attach it to the back. I love that to death. I haven't taken it off, but it looks like he's got the same basic... he's got the same basic sculpt underneath as the rest of the male figures, so there's nothing super special there. It's just in a different color. The silvers have a nice little metallic gleam without being vac metal. That's really nice. I hope we can see more of that in future figures. Maybe see that kind of paint finish work its way into the Origins line. I think that would be super sick. Legs, of course, go out, they go in. Knees can bend, they go forward and back. He's got thigh swivel, he's got boot cut, and he's got the kind of pivoting ball joint type feet here. And he's got the DuckTales feet on his boots here. Let's get him straightened back up there. The accessories, I mean, they work pretty well. You can just pop this right on, I think, maybe, hopefully. Ooh, that's really tight. That's what she said. There we go. And so, yeah, you got him firing a cool little thing there, and he's blasting people apart and stuff. He can't really look in that direction, so let's make him do it like that. Call casual about it. The arm itself, oh yeah, it comes out super easy. I was afraid it might be stuck in there because of the way these are made. Oh no. Yeah, but the articulation on... Oh, there it goes. Okay. I thought it was stuck, but I was just pressing it in the wrong direction. Yeah, articulation's fine on the right arm. It's got about the same... little bit less articulation. No, it's got about the same articulation as that left arm there, so that's good. It can go pretty easily up and down and stuff. And then we can clip on his crossbow here, and oh, well, it kind of works. Get him with the shield there. We didn't switch out the hand. I think you're supposed to switch out the hand to get the shield on there appropriately, but we didn't do that because we didn't have to, so we're not going to. Some tiny little gripes I have with it. There is some paint misapplication here on the head inside this crack you can see. The big thing, though, was on the back of this leg. Some of the silver paint, it looks like it's probably from the boots here, which have good detail. The boots look amazing, but some of that silver paint ended up on his thigh. Now, I'm sure that's probably just a problem with this particular figure, but just keep that in mind as you're buying, that if you are an opener, there could be some small paint misapplications that you have to deal with, but it's not really figure ruining or anything like that. It's just really small little nitpicky stuff, but you know, you're paying money for this, and so you expect a good polished figure. Overall, I dig this figure. The colors on him pop just beautifully. Unlike some of the Masterverse figures have appeared a little bit flat in terms of how bright their colors are and how varied they are. Like, say, Viking He-Man could probably have a little bit more color. Oh no, Hordak died! He's okay. What was I saying? Yeah, he's got just a brighter color palette than a lot of the Masters of the Universe Masterverse figures have had so far. He looks more in line with the kind of vintage toy line and the Origins toy line in terms of how bright and colorful his character is overall, but I really dig it. I think that if you're a Masters of the Universe fan, and especially a Princess of Power fan of either the Filmation or the Dreamworks version, this guy is something that you probably would like to add to your collection because he just has a wicked, cool looking face. He's got some amazing detail on the figure himself and the sculpt, in his armor, everything just, it exudes quality, and they actually really wanted to nail what this guy looked like and get his character represented in a really epic way, and I dig that quite a bit. Hope this gave you an idea of whether or not you want to invest in Mr. Hordak in the Princess of Power line from the Masterverse series. I highly recommend him. I think he's cool. I think he adds a good pop of color to the collection and will look really cool on any shelf or play area. Always keep collecting the way you like to collect, whether that's keeping your figures mock, opening them for display or for play, however you like to do it is the right way to do it. And if anybody else tells you otherwise, tell them you're going to send them back to Hordak Prime and make them suffer as slaves in the building army of the Horde.